Yeah. All right. So let's get started. And if you don't feel comfortable unmuting yourself, please feel free to utilize the chat feature. I have it up on the side just so I am able to see if someone does utilize the chat feature for any questions or anything. We're going to go through this really briefly, then we're going to have 15 minutes to just discuss what we've gone through. So really, um, big point. Why do you need a budget? You really need a budget for many reasons. The most important reason is that budget allows you to create a spending plan for your money. It helps ensures that you will always have enough money for the things you need and the things that are important to you. Following a budget or a spending plan will also help you keep yourself out of debt. It'll also help you make sure that you don't go back into debt if you have traveled into debt before. Um, and also, one of the major reasons that we need a budget, college is very expensive. So you just need to be aware of what you have to spend on your money. Just be more aware of what you spend your money on. It'll help you save better over time. Below is a very rough example of college students' expenses for the month of January, coming back from the break. And so, as you see, there's a lot of money that has been spent by students in the month of January, just preparing for school and getting started for the semester. And so, like the purpose of this workshop is just to make sure that you are staying on top of your spending and making sure that you are keeping track of your expenses and basically having money in your pocket for when you need it and when you want it. And a rule that is going to help you stay effective in that is going to be the 50-30-20 budget rule. So the 50-30-20 budget rule was popularized by Senator Elizabeth Warren, and it's basically a rule that helps you divide up your after tax income. So we're going to call it after tax income, but it's also called your net pay. So those are just interchangeable terms. And then you allocate it into those areas that you spend. And so on the next few slides, we're going to look at just a very another rough sample budget of an on-campus LSU student whose gender is not associated at this time. We're going to just say that they are non-binary and that they are an LSU student and that they enjoy having a good time and they want to save money. So let's take a look at the 50-30-20 rule. All right. So the first part of the 50-30-20 rule is that you're going to spend 50% of your income, monthly income, on your needs. And so your needs are just those bills that you absolutely must pay. And your needs are also things that you absolutely must have in order to survive. How you calculate that is that you're going to take your monthly pay and you're going to multiply it by 0.50. That's 50%. And if you go down, I've actually broken down on the side. So this freshman LSU student worker who lives on campus, they make about $550 a month. 50% of that, $225, is gonna go towards what they need. And this is just like a rough breakdown. You don't have to break it down like that. But this person spent $35 on toiletries and doing the laundry. Um, were buying like the laundry items and stuff. Um, and then they spent $60 making sure they had gas in their car, or they probably don't have a car, so they spent $60 using Uber or Lyft. They spend about $100 in grocery items you have to eat, and they spend about $30 actually doing the laundry. These are things that you need to do throughout the month. These are vital things like you can't go the month without. So you want to make sure that you are including that money, making that money a priority in your budget. And then the next is you spend 30% on your wants. So the wants are all the things that you want to spend money on, but you know they aren't essential. And so once again, you'll just take your net pay of 550 and you'll multiply by 0.30%. And that would be equal to $165. So out of that $550, you have $165 that you can really just kind of junk away for the rest of the month. And so, like, if you want to get your hair, your nails done, you probably spend about $50 on that. Dustin Poirier from Laffy, he was on the UFC fight. That was $75. So if you wanted to watch it with friends, you could have paid the whole 75, or your friends could have spent that, and you could have more money to spend on your wants. Also, Starbucks for the month, you probably spend about $25 to $30 on Starbucks. and about $15 on Netflix, and all of that totals up just right there to $165. So you want to be sure that while you're spending the money that you have or your wants, that you have enough to just cover multiple items. You don't want to just spend all your wanting or your leisure money on just one thing. And lastly, this would be your 20%. This will be the savings. And with the savings, it's actually pretty fun to develop that type of self discipline. So, your the 20% rule, these are going to be your goals or expenses that you have to more so work towards. And so, you're going to really set attainable goals in this section. And then you're going to make sure that you try to have at least 3 months of your income in emergency savings in case like you lose your job, you get in a car accident, you need a new car, or anything else that's unforeseen and unprecedented. We're in the middle of a pandemic, so you want to make sure that you're being safe. And setting attainable goals and giving yourself like an accurate and correct amount of time to achieve those goals will help you save very well over time. So let's look at this student workers budget again. Once again, they have a net pay of $550. You multiply that by 20%, and then you have $110 that you will put in your savings. Um, just to reiterate, like you do not have to put a full 20%, but 20% allows you enough safety in your budget to where if you need to save less for 1 month, it really doesn't affect how much you save. So let's say, for instance, the next month you save 20% this month. The next month you only save 10%. That's okay because the next few months you know that you'll have to save just a little bit more to get back to your goal. And so let's look over here at the chart. Let's say, for instance, you want to plan a trip to Chicago with your friends, and everyone needs $300. You just added $40 to that towards that trip. Car repairs. You have a car repair that's coming up that you need. You know you need $175. You just put $35 towards that. Or and your rainy day fund. You know you want to go to $1,500 by let's say the end of the semester just to have in your rainy day fund. You just put $35 towards that. No amount is too small to save. It can be a penny, it can be 10 pennies, and it can be a million pennies. But no amount is too small. All right. And there are just some ways that you can earn additional income to add towards those savings and add towards those costs of ones and even add towards covering your needs. Just some ways a college student, you want to make sure you're being constructive and you want to make sure that you're taking care of your academic responsibilities first. Academics come first, school come first. I know your parents told you that or your guardians told you that, but now I'm telling you that school comes first. If your finances are interrupting with your studies, you have to reevaluate and remember why you are here. But some ways that you can earn extra money while in college to help you cover some of your expenses. You can do Uber and Lyft. You can do Uber Eats if you have a car. You can do Uber Eats also if you have a car. DoorDash if you have a vehicle. They off we off the LSU Career Center offers the ability for you to look up paid internships if they are available through our Handshake portal. You can start your own business. So most students start their own business while they're in college. Some students that start a beautician service where they do hair or they sell hair or they start selling their own clothing or they start selling clothing for another vendor. Just small scale, something that won't interfere with your studies, but it's also funding. You're making your own money. Also, part-time employment. You want to make sure that it's a little like less greater than or equal to, less than or equal to 15 hours a week. You don't want to stress yourself out during college. You know, like the money's good, but you want to make sure your grades are good too. So you're gonna have a good job and secure your financial, really kind of secure your wealth in the future. And also student work positions. I highly recommend student work positions because they really, really, really allow you to work towards mastering your craft. Look, email the department that you're in, email your school, and ask them, hey, I am an XYZ major and I want to see if you have any student worker positions available in your department. I really want to learn more about working in the field. Ask those questions, get some knowledge on how you can make money in college. I promise you, the opportunities are out there. And so, just to give you a small recap, yes, college is expensive, but there are ways that you can really, really, really help combat those expenses. For example, following that 50-30-20 rule is a constructive way to save. It's great for young people with less expenses. Right now, you would have the least expenses of your lifetime. So you want to make sure that you are saving at this point. It's so pivotal and so vital. But it also requires self discipline. You yourself have to want to save this money. You yourself have to want to budget. So you want to make sure that you are telling yourself that, hey, I can do this and I am committed to saving and I am committed to budgeting in order to financially secure my future. And then also, if you want to add income to that, um, just adding additional income, getting like a part-time job or discussing some of the options that we just did, it helps increase your monthly budget and spending room. It offers an extra layer of financial security. But just again, like having an extra job may interfere with your studies. So you want to practice effective time management so that you are having a good balance between school and work and having fun. And so, if you are in need of any other resources, the LSU Career Center is here. I'm specifically located within the Student Financial Management Center, which is right there to the right. As soon as you walk through the door, please schedule appointments with us. You can visit your Handshake, lsu.joinhandshake.com, and schedule your appointments. And yeah, I want to thank you all so much for coming. And I'm going to stop the recording, and then we're going to go towards asking questions.